Hello, world. Welcome to another episode of PonderCast. I've got my buddy who is a space balloon junkie, an EdTech presenter, a Google trainer and innovator, a common sense certified educator, an EdTech hero. He runs geekyedtech.com. He is also an amazing parent of twins and a husband. Hello, Mr. Curt.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great.
All right.
Excited to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. I've been looking forward to this one. The first time I really got to hang out with Curt, we were, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago now. We were working for Indiana Migrant Education, getting ready to write some curriculum, and you and I stayed up till about 3:30 in the morning, just chit-chatting, and it was like a brother I didn't know.
Absolutely.
Was...
All of a sudden, it was like real late, and we were just still talking about very nerdy things, if I remember right.
That's right. All right, man. Well, first of all, I've got to congratulate you on the new the U.S. News article that was just had your school and you talking about. It was titled "For Manufacturing Industry, School is in Session." That's just an awesome article. Why is that article and why is manufacturing just important in your area?
Well, over the last couple of years here, I've gotten more and more involved with our manufacturing push at our high school. And for us, we're trying to come at it a little bit different. It's very important to us because our manufacturing facilities are in desperate need for workers from line work all the way into engineering work, all the way into public relations work, everywhere. It was quoted to me not too long ago that there's easily 100+ jobs vacant in my county alone in manufacturing, to give you a kind of idea. So we had a bunch of industry partners come to the school and say, we want to try to go about doing this a little bit different. And I think our different approach has really blossomed with our students, and we're definitely getting some awesome coverage for it. And our students are getting their names out there, and we can't wait to see where we can roll this into. But it's been a fun, wild ride so far.
That's great. And I just want to, one of the reasons Curt and I hit it off so well is we're both Project Lead the Way teachers. At the time, you were at the middle school, and I was just getting ready to start the high school where I'm at. But what's your role this year?
So this year, my typical role is I have 3 sections of IED, Project Lead the Way, so Introduction to Engineering, which is near and dear to my heart because I started out in the middle school. So I love those younger students, and we get a lot of our freshmen in IED.
Yep.
But one thing that's different down here in Seymour is we do have an IED section in the 8th grade. So I do skip some of our freshmen already have IED and they go straight to POE, which is a little bit different of a take.
Okay.
But outside of the Project Lead the Way classes, then I teach a couple sections of Intro to Manufacturing, which is the precursor to get into our Advanced Manufacturing program, which is the OWL Manufacturing program, as we like to call it. So we've kind of recoined and rebranded all of our advanced manufacturing classes as OWL Manufacturing. So we have Advanced Manufacturing 1 and 2 in that same class period. So.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that I put that U.S. News article in the links below so everybody can read that.
I appreciate it. That was a really fun article to do. The author called in several times and met with my students, and to see the pride that it brought my own students was even awesome. They sat around in a great big group and on speakerphone and did their interview, and I think all the quotes came out really good. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So you are an EdTech junkie. I mean, you and I go back and forth all the time. What EdTech thing do you want to share with us today?
So, I have to show something that I'm proud of. On the side, a couple of years ago, I really wanted to learn how to code better, and I'm still terrible at it. But I lean out on people like you and all kinds of people to get things done. And I'm good at being able to tell people what I want it to do, and they can help direct me in the way. So I'm going to show one of mine that I like, and that is Sir LinksaLot Chrome extension. So what Sir LinksaLot does, I'm going to share my screen here with you.
Yeah, and as you're doing that, this has been like spread out all over the place. Like big keynote people have shared their love for Sir LinksaLot, and this is a great extension to get.
So it all started with seeing a different little trick to be able to change up the URL to be able to have people to do different things with their Google Docs. So if we have a Google Docs here, and we wanted to have our users be able to be a forced copy, instead of changing the link yourself, you can come into the Sir LinksaLot extension and you can create the forced copy link. You can create a preview link. So if your school's doing like a weekly note out to the teachers or to the community, you can have it have a little bit better look. So we could actually look at that. We can open it in a tab and see how that looks. It strips all the formatting stuff off of a Google Doc and gives it that little bit more of a straight website look. And that's real quick with the Sir LinksaLot extension. You can have it download as a PDF, or you can set it up as a template. So if you're going to have something that somebody needs to fill out many a times, you can actually force that into a template and be able to download it. But wait, there's more. With this extension, you can set what you want it to do. If you want a forced copy link, you can copy the big link to your clipboard right away. And coming soon with this newest update that I'm just about ready to push out after Mr. Ponders here podcast, we're going to do the shorten link, which is being switched from G shortener to now it will be a bit.ly link. So if we go to a new tab here and paste that in, you can see that it's a bit.ly link already, and it takes us back to that document. And since I made it a forced copy document, it is asking me to make a copy. So all that with a click of a button. You don't have to memorize where or what you need to put in up here in the link. We've done that all for you. So one thing that's nice that different people do is I like to set these up with a forced copy link for myself when I need to be able to make a form, like a letter of recommendation. I can pull that out, put a different student name on it.
Yep.
So that's kind of my trick. One of the big updates is it will work. We had some issues with our sheets not working. With the new update, we've got all those bugs worked out. How's that for a trick there?
That is huge.
So that's a fun one. It's taken a lot of thinking on how to get all those buttons in there, and I'm always open to. I do that in my free time, so I'm always open to criticism or ideas. I know that I've really struggled with G shortener going away. I love G shortener. It has the analytics built in. It had the QR code built in. I'll really miss that product, and I know that a lot of schools struggle with bit.ly. So if there's a better thing out there for me to switch the shortener to, I'd be all ears. For the schools that are blocked, at least you still can copy straight to your clipboard with the full link.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to talk to our tech people and see if we can get that bit.ly unblocked. I use it all the time, and now I've just got a little bit more excited to share that out, and I'm glad you are the one that is sharing it on this episode. Thank you so much for doing that, and I don't know when you have free time, because not only are you teaching, and you're a dad and a husband, and you're also working on your admin license.
I am.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. So, all right, you get to be the first one on the PonderCast that's going to do some lightning questions.
All right, let's do this.
So here we go. All right, number 1, what's your favorite color?
Green.
All right, number 2, if you were a baseball player, what would your walk-up song be?
Probably something by John Mellencamp. Just being a good Seymour boy, it'd be a Mellencamp song.
There we go. We'll have to tweet this to him. All right, number 3, what is your favorite class to teach?
I would have to say being able to relate with my students. I taught a general study hall class one time. There was no stress on the teacher whatsoever. And we watched TED Talks, and I had great students. We talked about what it takes to be the class Victorian, got into all these off-topic things that you don't normally do. So relating those students, I know it sounds crazy, general study hall.
I get it.
Fun with the students, by far, Owl Manufacturing. It's a student-ran company. So you get to watch them making mistakes in class so they don't do it in the real world, and all the real world learning that's going on that is really hard to make grades in the grade book over, but you know that they're learning is fantastic. And we already have, 4 or 5 kids that have changed their pathway and have job offers on the table where you can see that it's changing lives. There's nothing comparable to that so far.
All right, that's awesome. Number 4, what's your favorite app right now?
My favorite app.
Or most used. What do you use most?
Most used app? I could probably pull that up. iPhones tell you now, right?
Yeah.
Let's look it up. I know that does that in here somewhere, right? Well, the screen time app shows me that my favorite app is YouTube, and it looks like I watch your channel an awful lot.
Yes, victory. All right, and the last question, what educator inspired you most?
I had some really great ones when I was growing up that really inspired me. I had one that stuck out and sticks out very much, of Pat Flynn. He was a teacher of mine when I was in middle school, and he is one of them that really installed into me that, I may not get it as fast as some of the other people around me, but if I keep working hard and working forward, you're going to get there. So I'd have to say Pat Flynn.
That's awesome. And is he still teaching?
He is not. He's retired, but I still see him around Seymour. Seymour's small town, so.
That's great. Thank you so much for playing the first round. You're the first one to see those questions come at you. All right, Curt. It is always great to talk to you. Where can people find you?
They can find me. All my contact information's on that geekyedtech.com. They can always reach me out via email. It's just mr.schleibaum@gmail.com. Or they can definitely tweet at me. So at Curt_truck, TRUC.
Because it's Curt backwards. Curt
That's
forward,
right.
Curt backwards. It's genius.
Well, when you're dyslexic in high school and you're still dyslexic and your friends have sense of humor, you might get a nickname once in a while.
It's great. How's the family doing?
No, family's doing great. My kids started kindergarten this year. I can't believe they're already in kindergarten. We go to one of my school's elementary schools. It's fantastic. It's a smaller school because we're out on the edge, and they're 2 of the 5 in-district kids, but they have about 16 kids in their class. So
that's great.
And pairing it up, they're reading sight words, and my son, there's just no hope for him. He's a nerd. He keeps a math binder for all the math problems he learns and 3D prints. And my daughter, she's going to be into the arts. She loves to build with clay and color everything, and sometimes the wall in her desk included.
Hey, it happens. My middle child, I think, is going to be an electrical engineer or an electrician, because the first day of first grade, he decided to take a staple and put it in a light socket, and so it was he got a bright light to remind him what really happens with electricity. So
that's a shocking experience sometimes, right?
That's right.
You have to show him how to make a light bulb out of pencil lead.
Yeah, we've been playing with LEDs since, a little voltage.
Little less spark, little less bite.
That's right. All right, man. I want to thank you for coming on. You're awesome. I appreciate everything you're doing. I also want to remind everybody to like and subscribe and share this. It's great having Curt on, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. So thanks a lot, Curt.
Oh, thanks for all the kind words, and you do an awesome job yourself, Seth. Thanks.